So today we're talking about the top 8 ways that God tests you. Because we got to remember, guys, that every single day, every hour, every minute, every second, we are being observed and tested by God. So these are the top 8 ways of how exactly we're being tested during this test. So that way at the end of our lives, we can pass and make it to heaven. Inshallah, Lord willing. All right, so let's get started. Number 1, first way that we get tested is through temptations and desires. We gotta realize, guys, that all the temptations and desires that we experience in this life come from Satan. They come from his demons, all right? Because these demons, they specialize in certain sins. We got demons for lust, succubus, incubus. We got demons for wrath, anger, demons. We got demons for laziness, sloth, right? They specialize in certain things. And then when you feel these urges to do these sins, they're coming from demons. Because what are we? Who are we? Our soul, our actual soul, who we are, is made out of light. It's the essence straight from God, okay? So it's not capable of jealousy. It's not capable of wrath. It's not capable of envy. It's not capable of lust. Okay, guys, we gotta remember this. So how are you gonna handle these urges when you get the urges to lust, to self-pleasure, to watch porn, to cheat on your spouse, when you get the urges to gossip, when you get those thoughts to hate another person, to feel jealousy, right? These are all urges from demons, guys. So these are tests from God to see whether or not you listen to these suggestions from demons, if you respond to these urges, and if you have the self-discipline to remain in your righteousness. Number 2, wealth and success. So a lot of times, guys, when God blesses you with abundance, so with wealth, success, with a lot of money, this is obviously a major blessing, but it's also a major test. He's testing whether or not you're gonna still give money to charity, still give money to the homeless. He's gonna test to see if the money is going to change you. Are you going to indulge in more sin? Because we gotta realize, guys, that come judgment day, when we all of us have to stand in front of God, he's gonna question us. He's gonna hold us accountable for every single dollar that you spent your entire life. He's gonna question you about all that money you spent on alcohol, all that money you spent on weed, all that money you wasted gambling, all that money you wasted on shopping sprees, buying all that clothes from Aritzia, Gucci, Versace, Louis Vuitton. And he's gonna ask you, how much money did you give to those homeless people? How much money did you give to charity? How much money did you give to your church, to your mosque? Did you really need that boat? Did you really need all those designer clothes? Did you need those subscriptions to OnlyFans? All right, guys, we have to, a lot of people don't know this. This is why I'm making this video right now, to make you guys aware that all the money that you're spending is being written down by angels in your book of life. And then come judgment day, you're gonna be prepared. You know, God's gonna question you and be like, oh yeah, I already knew this. That's why I didn't spend money on frivolous things, on dumb things. And then also, when he blesses you with a lot of money, he's testing whether or not you're still going to uphold your obligations as a believer. Meaning, are you still going to be praying on a consistent basis? So if you're Muslim, are you still going to be praying at least 5 times a day? If you're Christian, are you still going to be consistently praying every day, ideally? Are you going to maintain your relationship with God when you have all that money? Because when people have a lot of money, guys, it gets to their head. They don't think they need God. They think they're their own God, because they can buy anything. They can make things happen like that with all that money. Number 3, God tests you with hardship and tragedies. So he does this for 3 reasons. Number 1 is to test your faith. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that it's not enough to say that you believe. You have to go through hardship to prove that you believe and to prove that you have faith in God. In the Quran, it also says that every single year of your life, He puts you through at least one or two calamities. So you're going to notice in your life that this is a pattern. Every year, there's one or two circumstances that are going to hit you hard. Maybe you might lose your job. Maybe you might go through a breakup. Maybe you might lose a family member. These are all decreed, pre-planned for your test, for the test of your life. And depending on how you handle these situations, that's going to affect, either positively or negatively, the result of your afterlife. This is something that is really important for you guys to know. Every single year, God is going to put you through some stuff. So you always got to be prepared. You always got to remain steadfast, because even though He's putting you through stuff, He's also going to take care of you. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And what's the ultimate light? It's heaven, guys. The ultimate goal of this life is to make it to heaven for eternal life with peace, bliss, and absolute love and beauty for the rest of eternity, where you get everything. You get the best food, the best luxury, anything you could ever fathom. And beyond that is based on how you do in this life and how you handle all these different circumstances that are going to hit you. So God also uses tragedies to draw you closer to Him. Because what happens when you're going through a hard time? What do? You pray to God. You pray to Him, please God, help me find a new job. Please God, heal me from my injury/sickness. Please God, help my relative heal from their health problems. So it's essentially working. And then number 3, He uses calamities and hardship to build your character. Because think about every time you've gone through hardship in your life. Think about that time you broke up with your ex and it crushed your spirit. Think about the time you got fired from your job that you really needed. Think about that time where you got seriously injured, or you were seriously sick and you thought you'd never recover. What happened? Not only did you come back stronger, you also came back wiser. Because the intention of this life, guys, the whole purpose of it is to become a good person, to make it to heaven. And the only way you can become a good person is to go through hardship, is to have a hard life. Always remember that. Number 5, He's going to test your ideologies/religion. Okay, so this comes in several forms. First off, do you believe in God, or are you a disbeliever? Do you fall for New Age spirituality? Do you mix New Age with Islam/Christianity? Do you ignore parts of your religion, whether or not it's Christianity or Islam, that you disagree with because you don't like it? It's too strict. It's something that's not progressive enough. These are all tests from God to see whether or not you remain steadfast to His word and His teachings. All right, number 6, God's going to test you with conflicts in your life. So this can be a conflict with your spouse, with your coworkers, family members, friends, all that stuff. He does this for 3 reasons. First one is to test your patience. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that whenever we get into arguments with people in our lives, to have patience. For if we show that we have patience with these people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to change their heart, so eventually it'll be like as if we're friends with them. I've witnessed this multiple times in my life, because our natural inclination as humans, our fleshly inclination, when someone is aggressive towards us, is to be aggressive back. This is all deception from Satan. The best thing to do, guys, when someone is being aggressive with you, is to be patient with them, be kind to them if you can, and eventually God will shift their heart from being aggressive to being kind. And you're gonna notice, guys, like magic, it's crazy, absolute craziness. You're gonna notice that they're gonna start being kind to you. Second reason why he does this is to test your faith. Do you have faith in God that he's going to take care of you and going to take care of this situation? Or are you going to take this matter in your own hands and exact revenge for the way this person's treating you? Because as we all know, guys, if you treat someone the way they're treating you badly, you know how that saying goes, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind? 100% facts, guys. And another thing you're going to notice is that in the Bible, God says that he will curse those that curse you. So if you have that tight relationship with God and you maintain your righteousness, you're always praying to him, you're really close with him, you're going to notice that when people treat you bad and then they don't, for whatever reason, they don't start to change, bad things start happening in their life. Maybe they lose their job. Maybe they get into a car crash. Maybe they lose whatever. All sorts of things. This is God's wrath. God's wrath because they are giving you, one of God's chosen ones, a hard time, and he's going to do everything in his power to protect you. And of course, as we all know, God is all powerful. So what does that mean for this person? It's not good. Not good. Last but not least, guys, the reason why God creates conflicts in your life is to, funny enough, ironically enough, build your relationship up. This has been scientifically proven in clinical psychology that whenever relationships go through a hard time, through their trials, tribulations, arguments, all that stuff, and it gets really bad and they survive it somehow, that relationship goes on to flourish. These people go on to become best friends. They go on to become married, a married couple. They go on to be the best co-workers ever. Because the way God likes to build things up, God likes to build things up by tearing them down first. I'll give you an example. Let's say you buy a house and it's an old house and you want to build your dream house. So what do? You renovate it, you tear it down, you remove the old flooring, you remove the leaky roof, and then you tear it all down, leave it down to its bare bones, and then you build it back up to become your dream home. This is exactly how God not only builds you up, but also builds up your relationships in your life. So if you're going through a hard time, guys, with your significant other or with your friend, your best friend, your coworker, whatever, be patient and remain steadfast with God and try your best to work it out. Please, please, please try your best to work it out. Because I promise you that at the end of all this conflict with this person, your relationship is going to be that much stronger. I promise you that. Next up, God's going to test you with your looks. Okay, so this goes both ways. If you're exceptionally good looking, like you got model good looks, everyone's always lusting over you, and you're feeling good, you're feeling nice, right? This is a test from God. Okay, because he's testing you to see whether or not your ego's gonna take you over and you're gonna be prideful, arrogant, all that stuff. Will you treat others respectfully, or will you treat others unfairly, disrespectful, treat them like they're nothing because they're average looking or not attractive? Will you use your looks to incite lust, to incite fornication, adultery? Are you going to cause other people to sin because like that, with one look, you can seduce that man, you can seduce that woman to do anything you want, hypnotize them. It's a big test for men. It's also a big test, a way bigger test in my opinion, for women. Because with women, God blessed them just as a gender in general to be more beautiful than men on average. And it was done for many reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is to test them whether or not they can reserve that beauty for their husbands, significant others. Whether or not they can remain conservative and not incite lust from men, and not monetize that beauty for their own monetary gain. So if God has blessed you with beauty, ladies, this is a test. He's testing whether or not you're going on Instagram and posting pictures of you in a bikini, you at the gym wearing super tight clothing, showing off everything, to get all those likes from dudes you don't even talk to. And then they're becoming lustful and you're sending them astray. He's testing whether or not you're monetizing your beauty. Are you using your beauty to make money off these men from their lust? To get free dinners from men? Because this is a massive problem, guys, right now in North America, in the West. And it's starting to spread to other parts of the world, but really huge problem, especially cities like Miami, New York City, Toronto. Women are becoming indoctrinated by social media, by the music, by television, by the movies, all that stuff, to basically pimp themselves out for quick cash. Because, ladies, we have to realize that it is so easy to monetize your beauty, to get all that ego boost from your beauty. But as we all know, anything that's easy in this life, it's got to balance out somewhere. And the way it's going to balance out is your afterlife. It's going to cost you your afterlife. So on the contrary, guys, people that are not blessed with good looks, this is also a test. Because obviously these people tend to have tough lives. They're treated unjustly in society. So this is a test because God is testing their faith. Will these people have faith in God and put their trust in Him that everything's going to be okay? That they're going to eventually find love and get married. They're going to eventually gain respect from their peers and be okay. But they're going to eventually be happy. Because one thing you got to notice is that when people lack in this life, in God's perspective, it's actually a good thing. Because when people don't have a lot of money, when people are not good looking, things aren't handed to them. So who do they have to rely on? God. So even though a lot of times these people have hard lives here on earth, in the afterlife, if they remain steadfast and faithful to God and pray to Him, they have a lot to look forward in the afterlife. But in the meantime, while they're on earth, it's going to be tough. It's a tough test. Last but not least, God's going to bless you with knowledge and test how you use it. He's going to test you to see whether or not you use this knowledge to help others and guide them to the truth, or you keep it to yourself, either because you're insecure about what other people are going to think about you, or for selfish reasons. So this is a test, guys, because this knowledge that you have, I'm talking specifically about religious knowledge, about the truth. This knowledge can potentially save people's souls. It is the most sacred gift you can give another person. Giving them the knowledge that's going to lead them to God. So come Judgment Day, you will be questioned whether or not you use this knowledge to help others. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Peace.